Spanish artist Pablo Picasso once said, "Art is a lie, but it can make us realize the truth." In this quote, he is saying that art can be an illusion, but it can also teach us about ourselves and the world around us. Today, my presentation is about Pablo Picasso, a famous Spanish artist. So some background information about him is that he was born October 25th in 1881. And he was born in Spain and then later moved on to Barcelona at the age of 14. And there he attended the School of Fine Arts. He is known as a painter, a sculptor, and much more. And most of his pieces were Cubism art, and he was very influential in the 20th century. So in his career, he went through many periods, and one of the periods was called the Blue Period. Basically, these paintings had patterns of different kinds of blue colors and shades, and they were sad paintings, usually with long figures in them. And as he said, he wanted to put tramps and street people to make it look sadder. And one of the examples of the Blue Period is called The Tragedy, which he made in 1903. The next period was called the Rose Period. And this was a happier period with brighter colors. And these paintings contained clowns, and the setting was usually in a circus. And it was like a happier mood to his paintings. And one of the examples is called Family of Salting Banquets, and it was made in 1905. He is also known primarily for making Cubism art, and basically he would look for pure art, and then he would observe objects in an intellectual way, and then he started looking for geometric shapes, and then these paintings seemed as if the objects are broken apart. And one of these examples is called A Girl with Mandolin, and it was made in 1910. He also made surrealism art, and basically the definition of this is to unlock the power of your imagination. And basically he used his own imagination to make these paintings. And basically he used deformed shapes and monsters and other things that just came to him. And he made mythological shapes to create these paintings. And one of the examples is called Maya with her doll. And as you can see, this painting is very unique and creative with the deformed shape of the girl and the doll. So his first painting he created when he was only 9 years old, and it's called Le Picador, and it was made in 1890. This is an oil on wood painting, and his father was actually his biggest influence in his career in making this painting. He was only 9 years old, and his father taught him everything he needed to know at that time. The next painting is called Science and Charity, and it was made in 1897. He made this when he was 15 years old, and it's an oil painting. It's about a sick woman or a dying mother, and it seems very realistic, which is why he won an award at an exhibit, which is a very big accomplishment of his. The next painting is called Child with a Dove, and it was made in 1901. It has as you can see, it has very forceful lines and shows spots of color. This was made in his Blue Period, and as you can see, there's a lot of different blue shades, especially on the wall. And then it gets softened with brighter colors in the rest of the piece. The next painting is called The Old Guitarist, which was made in 1904. This painting has a lot of dark and dull colors, and as you can see, the lines are primarily shown at the neck of the guitar and on the wall. This was made after the suicide death of one of his close friends, and he decided to dedicate it for him. And this painting is a distorted style of painting because his torso shows as if it's reclining, and the bottom half of him has his crossed leg. He has his legs crossed, and it was made in the Blue Period. The next painting is called The Crucifixion, and it was made in 1930. This painting shows bright colors, but it has no religious significance as you thought it would be because of the title, but it doesn't. It mainly was made just to show the pain and suffering of and it was captured by the shapes and expressions shown in the painting. The next painting is called Girl Before a Mirror, and it was made in 1932. This is an oil on canvas paint, and the girl in the mirror takes up a lot of space in the painting. And today it is displayed in the Museum of Modern Arts in New York. And there's many different patterns and designs throughout the painting with a lot of different lines and shapes. The next painting is called Le Rêve, or The Dream, and it was made in 1932. This is an oil painting, and it contains outlines and concentrated colors resembling early Fauvism. It has high concentrating colors, and it tells the story of an early man character called Wayne and his dreams. The next painting is called Guernica, and it was made in 1937. This is one of his most famous works because it has a very unique meaning behind it. It is an oil on wood painting, and it's an example of expressionism. The setting of this painting is during the Spanish Civil War, and it was based off of the bombings in the town of Guernica. And basically he painted this to express himself and others of how he felt during this time of tragedy. The next painting is called The Weeping Woman, and it was made in 1937. This is an oil on canvas painting, and it is an example of Cubism. The painting shows features of a woman he knew called Dora Maar, and she was a collaborator of his when he was involved in politics. And he made this because supposedly she was always weeping because of the painting from before about the bombings, and she was also affected by this, which is why he decided to make it of her. And he wanted to show the pain expressed in the face of in the painting. So in conclusion, his career started at a young age, and most of his pieces had a meaning behind them. He was a 20th century artist, and he was mostly known for making Cubism art. So these are my references. Thank you for listening.